In just over a year, the next Euro 2024 in Germany starts. As usual, European teams approach this tournament with a real desire of winning, and the most updated, combat-ready lineups. Almost every European team has young players of the highest level, coupled with the experienced ones, so they're all capable of winning the most prestigious international trophies. With this in mind, we want to tell you about the main teams who will fight for the gold medal at Euro 2024. So, the top 7 favourite of the European Championship 2024. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video and leave a forward comment. Let's go! 7th place, Portugal national team. Portugal is one of the favourites at all international tournaments. And it's not just Cristiano Ronaldo, as was proven at the past World Cup in Qatar in 2022. The Portuguese are a very footballing nation themselves, and their training system has a great effect on the team's results. A prime example is the 2016 European Championship final, in which Portugal triumphed despite the injury-plagued Cristiano Ronaldo, who was at his peak at the time and could do the job alone. All thanks to their very smart approach of the coaches and the ability to rearrange tactics as the game went on. In addition, we should mention players such as João Felix and Goncalo Ramos. These guys are very talented and are still quite young, so most likely they're likely to be the key players. Moreover, Ronaldo hasn't finished his career yet, so maybe he will be useful to the team. Taking all the factors into consideration, we can say that Portugal is one of the favourites in the tournament. 6th place, Netherlands national team. The Netherlands is one of the most controversial teams in the tournament, and there are several reasons for this. The first is the fact that the Netherlands have never won a World Cup, although they've reached the final 3 times. Yes, the video focuses on Euros, but nevertheless, that fact proves that the Netherlands did not have much luck at international tournaments. Besides, these guys last won the European Championship back in 1988, with the legendary Marco van Basten. Today, the lineup of the team includes a lot of outstanding players who play for the top European clubs. And at the Euro 2024, all the key players will reach the peak of their career. Moreover, these guys have a feature. They constantly play risky on the edge. And due to this risk, their game often looks unorthodox, and this helps achieve results. If the boys from the Netherlands come to this tournament prepared and confident with multiple tactical tricks, we can be sure to see them at least in the semi-final. 5th place, the English national team. It'll come as a shock to many of you now, but England have never won a European Championship. They are the only world champions to have never won a European title. But the absence of a Euro trophy by no means implies that the English team is weak. We regularly see football works by some kind of different rules. Italy, that won Euro 2020, did not even make it to the 2022 World Cup. Meanwhile, the Moroccans have reached the semi-final of the tournament. The English team is clearly strong and has a great lineup, as the competition for the aristocrats is very tough. But look at the teams in the English Premier League, who ruthlessly compete with each other and qualify for the final stages of the Champions League every year. And it all shows that English football is not just alive, but is arguably the best in the world right now. If the English management properly selects their players and motivates them, creating a good atmosphere, England can become an unbeatable team. 4th place, Spanish national team. The incredible Spanish team, which is currently undergoing a bit of a crisis, is in 4th place. Right now, though, the crisis is nearing its end. This is because the Spanish football school is slowly replacing a previously extraordinary generation. Players like Iniesta, Xavi, Ramos and Casillas are nearly irreplaceable, but the Spanish Football Federation does its best to develop new talents. We can already watch young players such as Gavi, Pedri, Fati, who may be the heroes of the upcoming Euro. And in addition to youthful passion, they'll be accompanied by experienced players who can guide them properly. And in this scenario, Spain's game could be similar to Ajax in the 18-19 Champions League, when the youngsters just couldn't get enough of their opponents. So if the Spanish team is rushing, it is almost unstoppable. 3rd place, Italian national team. In 2021, the Italians won the European Championship trophy and broke their long losing streak. They really shone at that Euro and were unbeatable. But just a year later, they failed to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar, which shocked the entire football community. The current Italian team is finally in the usual shape, but still suffers incredible instability and some kind of haunting bad luck. If they exclude both of these factors, then theoretically, Italians are really tough and can easily defeat any national team. They will have to defend their title at the upcoming Euro, and we think they have a pretty good chance of doing so. But they'll have to play their best showing fantastic football, and fortunately they know how to do so. Second place, German national team. Germany is probably one of the biggest losers of all international tournaments in recent years. Having an incredible lineup and being one of the favourites in 2 World Cups in a row, they've not even qualified from the groups at any of them. Although just 9 years ago, Germany crushed all their opponents and easily managed to win the World Cup trophy in Brazil, beating the hosts in the semi-final with a devastating 7-1 score. This time, the tournament is being hosted by the Germans themselves, and they don't have a right to play poorly. The whole country expects them not just to qualify from the group, but to win the whole tournament. And most important, the Bundesteam has everything for this. Their team consists of world stars and solid Bundesliga players. Moreover, the German football system is capable of building a system that enables effective use of each player. After all, the backbone of the Germans' game is pressing, and the Euro will not be an exception. In addition to a strong lineup, the home stadium and the fan spirit will be key factors in their game, making the Bundesteam one of the clear favourites of the Euro 2024 title. First place, French national team. When you opened this video, you probably knew who was likely to come first. And if you thought it was France, you weren't wrong. For some reason, a lot of people think that France is exhausted after 2 successful World Cups. In one of them, they became champions, and in the other, they reached the final and lost to Argentina in a penalty shootout. But how can we say that the team has outlived itself when they still have an incredible lineup and a desire to win? A motivated and young Kylian Mbappe, who is arguably the biggest football star at the moment. Experienced Antoine Griezmann, fast and incredibly skilled Coman. We can talk about every player of their national team endlessly, as the team is full of stars and young talents who are incredibly motivated to win everything they can. It'll not be easy for any team to play against France, as they know how to play all styles of football, and each player can take the initiative, which is something many other teams lack, as they only have a few players to rely on. Due to all these factors, we believe that the French team is the main favourite for the Euro 2024. Here, we've told you the 7 favourites for Euro 2024. We'd also like to mention a few teams who unfortunately don't make it to the top 7, but they are definitely worth keeping an eye on. The first of these is surprisingly Belgium. Once upon a time, the Belgian team was strong and terrifying. They were one of the favourites to win the 2018 World Cup, and only the future champions, the French, could stop the mighty Belgians in a semi-final with a narrow 1-0 win. But unfortunately, those days are gone, and the Belgian national team is no longer the same machine that it used to be. The golden generation of Belgians has got a lot older, and now playing their final years. But Belgium is not discouraged, and there are some new talents on the way, but unfortunately they do not yet have enough resources to be regarded as one of the favourites for Euro 2024. The guys from Switzerland are also very attractive. They're getting more and more people in love with them every year. There are no world stars in their lineup, but their teamwork has led to excellent results in every recent international tournament. For example, at the 2020 Euros, these boys knocked out the main favourites, the French national team, at the round of 16. They showed real character and won the penalty shootout. In the quarterfinals, after a battle against Spain, at that time they lost the penalty shootout. It was still a decent result. And last but not least, we would like to mention the exciting Ukrainian national team. The squad is now full of young, talented, motivated youngsters. And despite the fact that the Ukrainian group is not the easiest to qualify from, they will obviously do everything in their power to make it to the Euro and show a successful performance. The reason we mention these teams is because they might be a real surprise. After all, this is football, and under the right circumstances, any of these teams could beat any of the top teams. So make sure you keep an eye on the qualifiers and the team you support. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments section. Who do you think will be the biggest disappointment of the tournament?